Have you ever felt uncreative and completely out of ideas? Whether it be for an artwork, video, writing, or brainstorming for a business, at some point we face the struggle of our mind turning invariably blank. Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you the secret tips and tricks to generate infinite ideas, anytime, anywhere, and anyhow. The best secret is at the end of the video, so keep on watching. Imagine being stranded in the middle of the Sahara Desert, stuck with seemingly nowhere to go. Your shoes are worn down, and soon you'll be walking barefoot, each step sinking into the scorching sand with your skin being cooked and falling off. All you can see ahead of you are more dunes of sand and the occasional illusion of an oasis. These illusions are just the bad ideas you have. Now, are they really bad ideas? You can never really tell. And here comes the first tip. Grab your shovel, we are digging down the mineshaft of ideas. First up, we have number 10. Write down everything. And by everything, I really mean it. If you have any ideas, just write them down. Good or bad, it doesn't really matter much, if at all. You're not really losing out on a single dime for writing down bad ideas. In fact, you would actually grow to better understand what sort of ideas you come up with. My favorite way to document an idea is to write it in a fresh new notebook, specifically for storing ideas, and also elaborate on the pros and cons. If you want to use Notepad instead, you can go right ahead and do your thing. Using Notepad on your phone or PC is far from ideal, as you can easily lose all that you have written. For me though, TXT files just don't really cut it for me. It's far from ideal. Next up is number 9. Look for friends who are doing the same thing as you. There is no such thing as being indisputably unique or original. If you are ever engaging in a project, it's probably due to inspiration from others who may be tackling the same topic or niche you cover, even if it is in a different format. Since you already take inspiration from other people's ideas, you can capitalize on what they come up with and just translate it into different means and structures. You may have a blogger friend who is obsessed with Hatsune Miku, and you could just make a YouTube video by taking that blog as an inspiration. And this goes for pretty much anything. There are blogs, articles, books related to programming, productivity, and many other niches and topics. And this is how I usually make my YouTube videos. I read books, I read articles, I try to explore different ideas, and then I convert it into a video after observing if there are any alternatives to these videos on the platform. Next up is number 8. Discussing your ideas with your friends. Now, if you're like me, or anywhere close to be me, you would be obsessed with making a name for yourself and going against the tide and against society itself. And as a result, you might struggling with making good friends. And I'll have you covered on this in another video. Friends don't necessarily have to know the same things or be in the same niche as you either. They just need to be honest and interested in helping you out and giving you the push you need. If they aren't really interested in your ideas or what you're doing, then they aren't really friends that can help you grow or progress further along the line. And next up is number 7. Now, this may be related to an earlier point I discussed, but I will elaborate. You have to read books related to the topics that interest you. Schools have conditioned us into finding books boring and monotone, soulless. But in reality, books are not really at all like that. It's absolutely fine to go to a library and pick a random book. It doesn't make you a nerd, and it won't really kill your personality or bring you any harm either. Many of my friends seem to assume that reading books is a waste of time, believing that it's an activity reserved for those in high-ranking positions or those pursuing certificates or inventing something. No, reading is actually a very good habit. And no dude, don't think it's a waste of time. Read a darn book. It would probably help your IQ get out of the room temperature. Reading books have been one of the main activities that has helped me change my life and become a better and more hardworking person. It has also helped me learn things which I would have never known otherwise. And next is number 6. Keep your workspace clean and well organized. Now, I'm mentioning this because I'm pretty guilty of it too, if you guys are as well. In order to strengthen your focus, it is important to prevent distractions and maintain a pleasing environment. This can help you big time. A study by Princeton University Neuroscience Institute found out that a cluttered environment can limit your ability to focus. The study was published in the Journal of Neuroscience. Now, let me paint a vivid picture for you. Imagine your table and room looks like this, and you have some crumpled laundry under your palm on the chair. Your head is constantly aching, and the room smells like utter shit. The more you burden yourself with unpleasant stimuli, the more you dampen your own ability to think. If you don't feel comfortable or relaxed staying in your own room where you're supposed to feel comfortable and relaxed, that takes up half of your mental space. Cleaning your surroundings is also cleaning your mind. Now, I personally love this trick because it helps me increase my focus exponentially. Next is number 5. Observe the grievances and problems of those around you. The best thing about success is that it all boils down to problem solving. One of the main reasons we love and enjoy video games and commit so extensively to finishing challenging levels is because it gives us the sense of piecing a puzzle together. This is why we feel extremely satisfied once we complete those annoying levels we were stuck on for hours. And likewise, this experience goes for everything else in life. This is also why many love math and physics and other boring school subjects that, I don't really enjoy. When you start solving a problem, it is very exhausting and mentally taxing at the beginning. You simply don't want to spare the mental effort to go through this. But after several failed tries, you succeed feeling as though you beat a challenging level while gaming. And that is the philosophy successful people apply to life. Real ideas lie in problems and their consequent solutions. In your case, the problem is likely to be a lack of ideas, and this is why you're watching my video. Or maybe I forced you into watching it. And my solution to your problem is packed into this video. So in this case, you could say that the solution to your problem is my idea. Next is number 4. Now, this is pretty similar to the previous point I explained, but this is important. Hear me out. We never really take a moment of the day to just sit down and see out to all the problems we personally have. And this is probably the greatest mistake one can make in their life. And one makes it every month of the year, every week of the month, every single day of the week to the very last second. You simply don't make time for yourself to sit down and think, even though it's extremely simple. You simply have to sit down and think of solutions to the problems. Don't have money? Learn some skills. Provide some value, sell something, whatever it may be. Soda cans or perfumes in the street, honestly, anything goes. Or maybe you have a problem with your health. Change your diet, do some exercise, befriend some gym bros, watch motivational content, and read some books about it. Solve your own problems. They themselves are immense blessings, and you can use your own self as an inspiration to help others out. Your own personal experiences are the most valuable ways to help yourself and others grow. Now, next up is number 3. Keep writing out your thoughts. They don't really have to be ideas either. Writing lets you organize your thoughts into physical reality and helps you systemize them into something coherent. You can easily lay out some frameworks or principles that help you come up with something new. It helps you reflect upon what is already in your mind. Half of the tips I've shared in this video were tricks I never knew or even thought of until I began working on the script. And they actually helped me increase my productivity significantly because I solved a lot of problems relating to the way I manage my time, schedule, and even controlling my habits. Now, next up is number 2. The best ideas I've come up with were always things I've thought of during outside walks. For me personally, I walk at any time of the day, and this is why it's one of my most favorite activities to engage in. This is why I actually placed it at number 2. It's just really that good. It beats most of the other advices I've provided in the videos thus far. I just really can't recommend enough to walk outside and take a breath of fresh air to get your brain juice flowing. Trust me, you'll actually be surprised by the number of ideas you can come up with while you're on a walk. I don't really know how to explain it, so I highly recommend you to try it yourself. Thinking while walking is like being megamind with steroids in your brain. It's just that insane and productive. This is why I can't stress enough. If you don't have any ideas and you feel lazy, just take a walk outside and you'll have dozens of ideas in no time. And finally, we have number 1. Materialize your thoughts. Don't just store the ideas in a notebook. Don't just think. You'll actually come up with more ideas as you experiment with the existing ideas you have already archived or preserved. The ideas you come up with are mostly based on the circumstances and experience. If you're constantly in a situation where you're brain dead, the best way to generate the ideas you need is to work with already existing ideas you have. I'm not really going to stress on this enough, but this is evidently the most productive way to get more ideas, as you're already working on the existing ideas you have, and that works as a catalyst to generate more ideas for you. This honorable mentions using AI, plagiarism, asking Redditors for advice, reading Robert Kiyosaki's books. Now, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give a thumbs up so that I am motivated for another light bulb moment. And also, subscribe if you already have it. As always, see ya.